How many times have you put a bunch of beads together and then discover at the very end that you don't have enough cord? And this is actually on the Marudai, so I'm going to show you what I do. This is the end of a very long necklace. I miscalculated the number of beads I put on, and all I'm going to do is I took off all the counterweights, and I'm luckily enough, close enough to the end, I'm going to extend the tamas as far as I possibly can, and then cord by cord, side by side, bead by bead, I'm just going to take these, and again, there's no counterweight underneath of this, and I'm just going to, let me do two together so I can work on the two hands, and hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier. I'm going to swing them around and slowly make sure they go into that center. That's two down. I've got three on each side, so I kind of went ahead, rather than put you through all 5 beads that I knew I was short on, or long on, I should say. And I really don't want to waste all the efforts, because there's about a 22-inch necklace below this, and I don't want to, I just miscalculated. So I'm making a counted pattern version, and I've got these 2, and so it can be done. Oftentimes I have to take it off, and I often put them on one of the smaller discs as there's less space, and I could have done that, but I think I'm going to make it work. When that does happen, like for a Tech 400 with 6/0 beads, what I'll do is on each of these cords, once I put it on the disc, I will attach micro cord to it, tie a double knot, and then finish it with that, only when there's no stopper beads on it. So that way I can finish loading on here, and I'll do that in another video. But in the meantime, let's continue down with these. So yes, every cord has a stopper bead. So there's now 2 cords, 2 beads left here. And it gets, a little dicey, and it's like, oh, I got to start all over again, or I got to. So I'm sure you've all had that experience, and I am always impressed with just how lucky I can get with some of my braids, and this is one of those where I can not cheat, but take advantage of this as a learning opportunity to share with those that are around, so that you don't have to start all over again, which is the worst possible thing to do when you've spent so much time loading beads and braiding beads. And this one helps just get it finished. So as you see, these are going in nicely. Again, the counterweight would have pulled the center all the way down to the well. If you envision that point down the very center, even with that wood would be the well itself, where our point of braiding, or POB, should be. And because of my lack of counterweight, it's allowing me to make this spiral up above higher. And there is actually plenty of weight on the weight of the cord, so it's doing a nice spiral, and I'll show you that too. And I think that was it. Yeah, that was all the beads. So now I can make my nubbin without cords, and I'll bring the other half of this back up. So this is a style that I developed when I moved to Hawaii, and it's Forbidden Island inspired. So it's a segmented Picasso colors, yellow, brown, and red. And then in the middle, I'm using 7x8 millimeter pinch beads, which are these little guys. They're not often available, and I'm running out of them, so I've got to be careful with selling too many, because I do want to keep for some private reserve. Hopefully somebody will start selling again. And you're seeing me finish up here with another, I like to make a nice full inch of a nubbin fiber only, and I'm happy to say that it's going well. Yes, I could have made this a speed up. And as I finish this in all of my other braids and all of my other videos, I take my fray check and apply a little dab. Make sure those are done. And I can take a couple more moves. I let it kind of fall onto that cord so it's stiff enough such that when I do take these leaders off. These pink leaders are for the tamas. When I take those off, it won't unravel. So now I've got another, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 moves. So now I'll show you, here's the rest of that braid. Here's those pinch beads, and here's the rest of that. And what actually I had started is I did a matching bracelet first, and I can usually use 65 inches of Tech 210. This is for a neighbor of mine, an anniversary gift. And I'll put a jump ring on it, which I did on this for her. And it's about 4 beads away from the end. This is 7 inches here. And oddly enough, even though I used 5 beads on these 2 or 3 sections, it does look like the red overall is a smaller bead. This doesn't count because I did have to measure, and these are 3 actually. And these are 2 each here. And then that. So it's 5, 5, or 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 2, 2, pinch, 2, 2, 1, yellow, then 5 brown, 1 yellow, 5 red, 1 yellow, and then 3 brown for that 7 inches, which I'll put into an end cap. It's going to match this one here, which she wanted to add kind of a charm to it, so I had to reconstruct it for her. And that's the latest from Randy at Akale Designs. Hope that was informative for you.